In this video, we will talk about why being a freelance video editor sucks compared to other freelance work that you can do right now. You may be entering the freelance world right now, or maybe you're already working as a photo editor or graphic artist, or maybe a VA, and you're just trying to switch roles, or maybe you're just someone that wants to learn how to edit videos like this. So I can definitely say na this video is para sa'yo. And syempre, i-share ko rin sa inyo on how to avoid them. So we'll be talking about the demands of the work, the stress, the issues with the software crashing, the issues with the software price, because some of you are subscribed to Adobe right now, why we need bulky equipments, and all those things. So let's go ahead and start. So first is demand and stress from projects. It actually varies on which type of clients you have and which type of content that you have. So you have a couple of deadlines, like say for example, you have a launch coming up, or maybe you have ad campaigns na kailangan consistent that you need to edit for, or some clients are making content that needs to be relevant to what is happening right now, like news and current events. Those are the types of content that you might need to hustle a little bit para mahabol mo yung mga deadline. So if you want a fast-paced na working condition, then maybe those types of projects are for you. Plus, usually you get the added bonus of working with a team. So you would also have an idea or a clue how they work, or yung overall na ginagawa ng team nyo, you will have a good idea that you will be able to use eventually when you have other clients, or personally pag ikaw, if you already have your own business. On the other hand, if you want a more laid back on the chill side, so I suggest you look for clients that are more on travel vlogs. Usually they're on the health and wellness niche. I've seen a lot of people edit for churches and charity or non-government organizations. So those are the types of projects that I would suggest you enter into if you prefer a slower paced working condition. Of course, it also goes without saying that we need to look for good clients. We need to screen clients. For example, you get connected with a couple of potential clients, you talk to them, each and every one of them, and then you consider a couple of offers, then that's the time you choose. And of course, don't burn bridges, because eventually, you might need to work with them again. But the good thing is, it's all online. So it's still better than going physically sa paiba-ibang building when applying. Na-experience ko yan personally, maglalakad ka sobrang layo, and a lot of efforts, right? Compared to remote work. So it's still good. We're still okay, guys. Now, moving into the very, very tight deadlines of some of our clients, I would suggest looking into the form of compensation. For example, if you have a per hour rate, mas demanding sila, of course, because you get paid by the minute. Kailangan naman talaga worth it for the business or the clients themselves yung binabayad sa'yo. Sa kabila naman nun, if you have a per video or per project, then mas less yung pressure because you don't get paid by the minute. So usually these types of projects, you have the control on the pacing of the editing itself or the whole project itself. Pero Jomac, paano kung per project na ako and per video na ako pero sobrang rush pa rin lagi yung mga clients? Then I suggest you ask them for a rush fee. Para in that way, depende pa rin siya on the project itself, per project. And you also get compensated for the extra hours or extra effort that you put into to have the videos or the content ready on time. Third problem is the expensive and bulky equipment that video editors use. Guys, in my experience, compared with the freelance graphic artists, the VAs, the outbound sales team, usually video editors, we need a full-blown computers, no? Desktop. I'm talking about desktop computers, guys. Kaya naman sometimes you get envious of the Instagram posts ng mga VAs, di ba, ng mga kasama nyo, or sales team, because they can get work done even off-site or even during vacations on their fancy laptops, right? I really don't think that there is a solution for this at this time. But then again, we are video editors, so I think it comes with the work itself. It comes with the territory, right? Joma, kaya ko naman gamitin yung laptop ko but di na lang yung laptop. Well, I will tell you why. Some laptops are actually good, but quite expensive for the same specs that you get from a desktop. Even the GPUs or the graphics cards that we need to use to render, the performance of the same model, for example, when you're using a 4070 on a desktop, it will be way more powerful than your laptop version of the 4070. So in the end, you might need to spend more to get the same performance. Plus, there's the battery life, there is the spare parts or service. If something goes wrong, usually you cannot open the laptop yourself and fix it. Plus, there's the issue for the spare parts. Unlike for desktop, if you have issues, then you can just readily open them. Or if you need to upgrade, right? If you need to change your graphics cards like these, or maybe your CPU, you can do that. Plus, more importantly, the storage space. So for desktop, you can just easily pop in a HDD or SSD. You can also do that with laptops, but it's easier to have long time storage for the desktop. Plus, there's the screen size, or if you want to use multiple screens, then you can definitely do that easily with the desktop. For the laptop, you cannot really bring with you a portable screen. It would be inconvenient. So you really need to buy or purchase the higher end laptops with higher end specs and the bigger screens. Gagawa ko ng video to deep dive on that topic, so make sure you subscribe. Next would be the software or your software issues, software crashes, the cost for the subscription of the software. So for those who are using Adobe Suite, usually we pay around 30,000 plus per year. And for DaVinci Resolve, we pay around 15,000 pesos for the studio version. By the way, I just switched from Premiere Pro and After Effects into DaVinci Resolve. I'm still learning the software and I will definitely make a video for that. So watch out for that one. I will be talking about the pros and cons of each. Going back, that's actually the biggest issue that I have with Premiere Pro, the frequent crashes, especially with After Effects as well. So I switched into DaVinci Resolve. Now I still experience a couple of crashes here and there, but I think it also comes with the territory. Unfortunately, I don't have a solution for that. Video editors, we really have to accept that the software that we're using is prone to these types of issues. I think Final Cut for Mac users is also a good option because it's pretty optimized, or maybe running the software, Adobe Premiere Pro and Resolve on a Mac computer will help you with the crashes or the bugs. I haven't really done a lot of editing on my Mac. I usually use Windows 11 right now, so I cannot really recommend, or I'm not sure if it will work. If you haven't bought your computers and you have extra budget for a Mac, maybe you can try that one out. But I haven't done extensive editing on Macs myself. Okay, next one is file size. And video editing or video files are pretty huge, guys. It will eat up your storage on your computers pretty fast. Add mo pa dito, a lot of clients, they may need reference videos from a couple of weeks or maybe a few months back. So as video editors, that responsibility usually falls on us to keep those files. For this, I suggest that you talk to clients, maybe have a NAS or network attached storage. Sige, gagawin ko na rin ng video on what I use. I'm using a Synology drive for my videos. Actually, it's pretty easy to set up. It costs around mga 20,000 pesos if you will purchase it as a video editor. But if you have clients that have the means naman to shell out, then by all means, go ahead and talk to them. Kasi pag napuno yung computer nyo ng files, it will really slow it down. Add ko na rin dito will be the rendering time. So, unlike your VAs or yung mga nasa sales dito, or maybe your graphic artists, right? For video editing, when you are rendering, I'm not sure if your client is paying you for those hours, pero usually matagal yun. Depending on the content itself, sometimes maybe 10, 20 minutes lang. Sometimes it takes for maybe an hour. Especially pag marami siyang assets and motion graphics and 3D stuff. It's pretty inconvenient for us. Usually if we're on the flow itself while it's rendering, so you pretty much can do more edits. What I suggest for this one is maybe you can take up, okay, suggestion ko lang maybe you can take up other projects for the same client. Like for example, you are the video editor but you also manage their YouTube or their TikTok or Instagram. Nang sa ganun, while the video is rendering or your project is rendering, you can move over into other tasks. But what I usually do before, sinasabay ko siya when I'm taking my lunch or maybe taking breaks or naps. Because from my clients previously, they're not usually strict naman with the schedule. So ito na nga, did I quit? Or ayoko na ba talaga maging freelance video editor? Ang sagot ko dyan guys is, medyo complicated kasi. So ito yung mga nangyari. One is I still have my YouTube channel at that time, a couple of months in when I started freelance video editing. So I really wanted to go back and grow my channel a little bit more. Second is my main client's business actually got hit by the pandemic. So affected yung revenue nila. There has been, I think, a couple of weeks that we don't have projects from them. And probably the biggest reason is I actually started and grew my business during the pandemic thanks to this YouTube channel. So I can actually say na comfortable naman ako right now. I can choose to work or not work or pursue things that are more important or interesting for me. So I'm not the type of guy naman to do a lot of travels and vacation. But it's a good thing that I'm at this stage of my life that I can hyper-focus on the projects that I want. So right now, that's putting more valuable content on this YouTube channel, starting and growing TikTok and Instagram and Twitter or X, plus the Facebook pages, groups, and learning Facebook ads. So if you're noticing, the long-term plan is to open an agency, probably with a partner overseas. That's why I will be making some of the videos in English so I can reach a broader audience and potential business partners. I think the timeline is around 2024, so I still have a couple of months to learn other things aside from just editing itself. So if you're overseas and you're watching this and you have an idea or an existing business and you want someone to talk to you about it, hit me up, comment down below, or maybe you can reach me on my email. But for now, expect that I will be uploading a lot of freelance, money-making, entrepreneurship videos on this channel, and watch out for those. The next couple of videos will be laptop versus desktop for video editors, why editing is one of the most important skills that you need to learn this year, starting this year, what are the other things that you need to learn aside sa video editing, and of course, yung feedback ko when using DaVinci Resolve versus Premiere Pro. So thanks again for watching. Jomac here, and I'll see you on the next one.